Hey everyone, it's Mason with Barbell Black Belt. Today I want to discuss the things that I don't like about Taekwondo and Taekwondo competition. Last time I talked about the positive, now it's time to talk about the negative, as promised. Again, the things that I'm about to list come from my own opinions and experience in the art and the people that I've interacted with, so my thoughts might not align with yours. If they do, let me know in the comments down below. Let's get right into number one. To beat a very dead horse here, point system in Taekwondo sparring pretty much sums up all of the things that suck about it. There's so much emphasis placed on just tapping a sensor, and I don't like that. Ultimately, Taekwondo sparring is a sport, and every sport has its set of rules. But I believe that martial arts should be about fighting, not tapping. I'm not saying that every martial art needs to look like a street fight. Taekwondo focuses on mainly kicks in the same way that judo focuses on throws and boxing focuses on punches. Specialization in a certain fighting range or aspect is awesome. I just feel that the art that specializes in kicking should focus on kicking, not foot fencing, as some have called it. The focus on points has also resulted in an ideal body type for Taekwondo. That is, tall to make head kicks as difficult as possible, long legs to make kicking at range easier, and very lightweight to allow for faster movement. Being that I'm a 5'6" manlet who likes to strength train, I'm not a fan of this. In other combat sports like kickboxing, a fighter can be short and stocky, tall and lanky, or some combination in between, and fight according to their strengths and weaknesses. Taekwondo, on the other hand, forces players to fight in a certain way, and that just seems wrong to me. Of course, there are different styles of fighters within the sport. Some are taller or shorter than others, but ultimately, fitting the mold determines the win. The padding. Ugh. In WTF Taekwondo sparring, you have to wear hand pads, foot pads, chest protection, and headgear, even though hard strikes are discouraged. In ITF style sparring, it's a little bit better because there's no chest protection, but the hand and foot pads kill me. I've been told that they're supposed to help the little tiny bones in our hands and feet from getting broken. That doesn't make sense to me. There's only one punch allowed in WTF sparring, and that's the reverse punch to the torso, which is padded. If I break my hand on that, I deserve it because I didn't condition my hands. The feet are a different story because if you kick someone's elbow or knee, regardless if you have padding or not, it's going to hurt. But that just means that you need to be more mindful of your strikes. We are martial artists. We should be able to dish out some punishment with the things that we hit with, like our feet and our hands. We should also be able to take a hit to the torso. Maybe the chest protection is more about telling if a point was scored, as there are clear indicators on it to where you can hit. But in my opinion, the mobility that I lose from wearing a bulky piece of foam on top of my uniform is far more valuable than being able to score points easier. As far as headgear goes, I might make a separate video on the topic altogether. Tell me in the comments if you think I should. I would understand all of the gear if we actually hit each other hard, but even then, only for the kids. For adults and those serious about combat, the loss of mobility and the bad habits, it's not worth it. In competition, hand techniques are neglected, sure. But even in general Taekwondo classes, it seems that hand techniques are only practiced in a linear fashion. Of the schools that I've trained at, it was rare to see demonstration or teaching of range, head movement, or footwork that was involved with hand strikes. As someone who loves boxing range striking, it'd be nice to see some hand techniques being taken seriously in training or competition. Imagine knife hands and palm heel strikes being implemented in a competitive sparring. That would be awesome. You may say that it's unfeasible due to some of Taekwondo's hand techniques being dangerous and only for the streets. But hey, I could agree. Lastly, I want to touch on the attitudes of some of the people that I've met while training in Taekwondo. This is really a people problem, not a Taekwondo problem, but I'd like to address it here anyway. Even though Taekwondo sparring is a sport with little to do with actual self-defense, a lot of practitioners treat it like it's a fight to the death. Not in the application of techniques, but more the way they act around you outside of the ring. It's almost like people forget that they're not in a martial arts movie. This isn't Enter the Dragon. No one has offended you, or your family, or the Shaolin Temple. I am a culprit of this because I used to take myself way too seriously. I'd go into tournaments after watching Bloodsport thinking that I needed to use all my rage to attack my opponents. I forgot that I was there to test my skills against other competitors, not fight them to the death. But mainly, I forgot that I was there to have fun. And I think that some people in Taekwondo might just take themselves too seriously the way that I did. And admittedly, sometimes still do. In conclusion, do I hate Taekwondo? No. I love a lot of things about it. It's the first martial art that I ever did, and as of now, the one that I've progressed the furthest in. It will always hold a special place in my heart. With that being said, let's answer a burning question. Will I ever compete in Taekwondo again? Probably not. Probably. There are so many things that I could do outside the realm of Taekwondo and so many paths that I could take. For now, on this channel, I'm going to shift my focus back into building some muscle, but don't worry, I've got a lot of fun videos planned for the future. So stay tuned, like, subscribe, follow, and I will see you all next time.